Welcome to Art by Rick. I'm Rick. Today I'm going to kind of step back a little bit and go back to something that I did on a previous Art by Rick show. And this is a technique using multiple colors on a small canvas or a large canvas if that's what you want to do, and balloons that you use kind of like a paintbrush. You're basically smashing your paint into the canvas to get different patterns. And depending on how you use that balloon, you can get different looks, whether it's streaks or explosions, or in my case, something that might look like flower petals. So today we're going to do some balloon smashing on small canvases in a return to the balloon smash. Now, what I've done is I've set up a table in front of me. This table is set up where I have my colors that I'm going to use in front of me, the different mixes that I'm going to do. I have my canvases laid down. Today I'm going to be using some simple 8x11 canvases, just some small ones. I might do this where I'm centering, or I may use the whole canvas. It depends on what I'm going to do. I have cups to mix my paints in. I have my paint thinner or my acrylic medium as it's used to thin the paints out should I feel they need to be thinned. I might use them straight out of the bottle so that they're nice and thick and I get a really nice impression and pullback to give me some dimension. I'll do some on some black canvases. I'll do 2 on black canvases, and I plan to do 2 on the white canvases. The reason why I'm using different color canvases is so that I get different effects with the colors I'm going to use. When I'm using the bright colors here, I'll use on a white canvas. If I'm using medium colors, I might go to a black canvas. So we'll see how this lays out. I'm also going to mix some paints together. There are certain colors that I want to use to get the effect that I'm looking for that I can't just buy in a bottle. Well, you can if you look really hard. Things like gold and silver come in bottles. But the tones that I'm looking for, I'm going to have to mix the colors together. So I'll be stepping off camera as I prepare and mix the paints, and then I'll show you how I apply those paints to the canvas. We'll blow up a couple of balloons, and then we'll do our smashing technique and see what we get as far as being able to create some flower petals on these small canvases. Okay, what I've done now is I've reset the camera like I always do so you can see the canvas when I'm actually working on. This is my 8x11 canvas. It's a white canvas that's been stretched over a wood frame, and all I've done really is painted it with some dark black paint because I want a nice black base on this. I've mixed my colors, and I've decided I'm going to kind of do a midnight kind of motif here. In fact, I'll probably call this Midnight Radiance. I think that's what I'm going to go for. What I'm going to use for colors is I'm using some brown and some copper and some gold. I'm hoping that when this dries, it's going to have some reflective qualities to it. Now, because this is a balloon smash technique, I've blown up some balloons. And as you can see, I've done my balloons in different sizes. The different sizes will give me different size spreads. I might want to stay small because these are small canvases. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the smaller balloon here. So just give me a minute. I'm going to put 2 balloons aside. I'm just kind of throwing those back on my work counter. Now, because I want this to look almost like florals, what I'm planning to do with this canvas is I'm going to draw some lines on it. Because if you're doing flowers, you've got to have some kind of a spread of, flowers or whatever that's on it. So I'll use a small little drawing brush that I have here. I have some Nutmeg brown paint. I'm just going to put a little dab of paint on my plate. And I'm going to just draw free-handed on here kind of a stem. And we may add some more just to get things connected. But I'll start in the middle like I always do, and I'm just going to kind of come up. Just basically coming up. Just going up. And again, this is just giving me a little bit of brown on the black to give the illusion of a stick. Okay. I'll branch it out to a different side here. Maybe I'll go up a little further, a little curve, and I'll come off the side here. Go up a little further. Branch out from the top of this one to a little bit of the side. Same thing with this. And I'm just kind of branching out. Now as I'm stroking my brush through, I'm pushing on it so that I can kind of let the black shine through, because I don't want solid brown lines here. I want them to show the black through it to give it a little bit of a highlight. So that's all I'm going to do there. I just drew some lines on using my drawing brush. So as you can see what I have here, again, I'm working upside down to the camera, but that's basically all I've done is I've just made a track line on here of branches in the middle. And then I'm going to add my colors and smash them onto this, and then maybe add some leaves. So again, I'm turning it around because unfortunately the way that I show this, I'm working, or you're seeing me do it upside down. So we'll turn it around so you can see what I've done here. And then I'm going to add my colors onto this particular canvas. So I've mixed my colors, and I have my 3 colors that I'm going to use. I have my gold, I have my copper, and I have bronze here to give me the effect that I want. And I'm just going to add these colors onto the canvas. I always keep some paper towel off to the side. This is why I keep disappearing, because I'm grabbing different things. You know, got to have my paper towel to clean things, because I'm going to be smashing these colors on. So because I want the gold to really stand out here, I'll probably add that last. So I'll start with the darker color. So this is my bronze type color. So I'm just going to add a little dot, little dot, little dot, dot, and a dot. And I'm letting those spread. I'll add my copper color onto this. I like these paper cups because I can pinch them and I can kind of direct how I want my paint to go on. So again, I'm going to add the copper on top of it. And then I'm going to finish that off by adding the gold. So now I have my gold here. And I'm going to add my gold. Gold, 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 and gold. Okay, now as you can see, those are kind of like blobbish on here. Now the idea is to take the balloon that I have here and smash these colors into the canvas. So usually I'll start in the middle. So I'm going to go in the middle of this. And I'm just going to place the balloon in the middle and push it down, let it spread out, and pull it back. And I'll take the next one and I'll pull it back. I'll take the next one and I'll pull it back. Another one. And my last one. And I think I'll just add another one right here. And one right here. Now, as you can see, this is kind of hidden. The brown that's going up, those were just done as kind of a guideline for me. And what I'll do is I'll come back with some black and I'll make some lines on these to help define these smashes a little bit, so they look more like flower petals going into this particular picture. And that's all I want to do for this particular one. It's just the copper and the bronze and the gold on a black background. I'm also cleaning off the balloon while I'm doing this. So that's that for that one. I'll put that one aside because it's going to need time to set up. And I'll begin to set up for the next one that I'm going to do. So in this case, I'm going to use a white canvas. So I'm putting down the white canvas here. And I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to do some brown lines on this one. I'm just going to basically place it and do my colors the way I want to. So in this particular one, it's going to be a little brighter. I'm using some bright colors here. I have some red, some orange, some peach, and some yellow. This one's going to give me kind of a, maybe a spring type colors that are on here. So again, I'm going to start with the red. I'm going to dip the red on here. I'm just going to make some little dots of red. I'll follow that up with my peachy color. I'm doing the dots a little bit smaller on this here. That's my peach. I'll add some bright yellow. The nice thing about this when you do a balloon smash is you will get paint, of course, on the balloon. And unless you're doing a big canvas where you'll be wiping it off a lot of times so your colors don't get too diluted, you can just use that paint that's on the balloon to add more to the canvas if you feel that that's what you want to do. All right, so there are my nice spring colors. Again, I'm going to take my balloon. I'll use the small one again. Going off canvas to grab another piece of paper towel. I'm wiping the balloon off, trying to get the paints off the balloon so it's clean. Okay. And now I'm going to begin to do my smashes on this one. So let's start over here. So we'll just put it down. We're pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, and then we're going to pull straight up. Pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, and pulling it straight up. Again, pushing, straight up. Pushing, straight up. Pushing, straight up. And pushing, straight up. And then I can add one more for balance over to here. There we go. I kind of like to put one right there. There we go. So again, the colors are added onto this. I've smashed them in. That's all I'm going to do. I will detail it by drawing some lines to make things more defined so you can really see that this is going to look like flower petals when it's done. I'm cleaning off the balloon as I get ready to do the next one that I want to do. All right, so let's put this one aside. This next one, we're going to go back to the black again, a black canvas. This one here, again, let me put the canvas where you can see it. I need to just wipe some paint here. There we go. All right, so again, I'm putting the canvas where you can see it, top to bottom. I'll move this plate off to the side here. All right. So this one is going to be a little bit different as far as the colors are concerned. My plans here are to, well, kind of do maybe, let's say ocean colors. Okay, so for ocean colors on this, what I want to use is I want to use blue, of course, some purple, and maybe a little turquoise color, which is kind of what I mixed here, which is some blues and different colors mixed together. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. Only in this case, what I want to do with this is because it's going to be looking like you're looking into the water on this. I'm going to cover the whole canvas, unlike the other ones where I'm kind of doing flowers. This one I'm going to cover the whole canvas. So I'll start with my blue. I have my blue here. So I'm dotting my blue on. There's the blue. I'm going to add the purple. So here's my purple. Now some of these colors you buy directly from the paint store or wherever you get your crafts. They're already made up. But you don't have to necessarily spend a lot of money on a lot of different colored paints. If you get a color chart or you even look up on the internet, it will tell you what colors to mix together and what portions to mix the paints and so on and so forth to get the different colors that you'd like to get. That will save you, over the long run, a lot of money on paint. You'll find when you do abstract art like I do, sometimes you go through a lot of paint and you kind of waste a lot of paint, which is a shame, unless you save it and you use it for something else. All right, so now I have my colors down here for kind of my ocean color theme. So again, I'm using my smaller balloon, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to smash into these colors on a black canvas. And you can see how these colors are going. Now I'm trying to make this a little bit more oblong. So I'm really pushing into the canvas on this. And I'm just going to add different depth to it to kind of cover this whole canvas up. There. And that covers the whole canvas. And that's all I want to do with that one. Just covering the whole canvas with the balloon smash colors. Okay? Very simple. Just very nice to look at. All right? Now let's clean up, and then we'll do our last one. Okay. Now, we have our last canvas here. And this one, I'm going to do some other colors on. This one, I got the inspiration just by sitting outside and looking at a meadow that happened to be in front of me. I was actually across the street from where I was parked, and I was noticing the colors that were there. So I decided, well, I'll try and do something that reflects those meadow type colors. So what I did was I just took some basic gray, a little bit of silver to give it a little bit of an accent on there. I have my green here, and a mixture of paint that I'm going to call magenta. So again, I'm going to follow the same technique here. I need to clean the balloon off. Okay, sorry I was off camera for a minute. The balloons get quite messy. And just to keep the colors from mixing too much, I'm just going to clean off the balloon. I'm just wiping off the balloon right now. You do make a pretty good mess when you're doing this kind of stuff. If there's a little bit of paint left on it that kind of mixes in, it really won't be seen, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so this last one that I'm going to do, or at least start to set up, is I'm going to use the 4 colors that I just mentioned. So we'll start with a little bit of a darker color. And again, this is just something that is very easy to do. You can get the family involved. You can have the kids do it. It's fun. You're just kind of mixing your paint, making some dots, putting the paint on the canvas, allowing yourself to kind of just easily enjoy doing that with little or no efforts. I gotta get my thing going here. All right, so now I'm going to do this color, just mixing this color on here, Again, just pouring to mix the colors so that these can smash together. If it drools between the dots, don't worry about it. This is not a precise science, this kind of painting. It's a very simple, easy thing to do. Again, you know, if you have little kids, well, you'll have to give them some supervision to do this. This is something I wouldn't allow them to do on their own, because you want the paint to go on the canvas, right? You don't want it to go all over the house. But yeah, so I'm just putting it together like this. And then I'm going to give it some pop of color by using the dark green. So there's the green. Okay. So now we have our green in here, and here we go with our balloon again, and we're going to do our smashing technique. So we'll get the balloon in position. And actually, for this last one, maybe I'll give myself a treat. I'm going to switch to a different balloon here. I'm going to go with a little bit bigger of a balloon. I'll go with my big one here, the bigger one that I showed earlier. Okay, so here we go. We're going to just smash on this. Pow. Smash on this. Pow. And I'm pulling straight up because I want those colors to mix in and to really be able to see the different petals or the different effects as you smash in on this. And again, very simple. There, done. Doesn't take long to do these at all, and they're very interesting. You can add all different types of colors. You can do different themes when you're doing these. It just gives you the opportunity to make sure that you're getting the coverage that you want on these. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, folks, is I'm going to go away. I'm going to clean up my table. I'm going to let these set up, and then I'll come back and do some detail work on these. So I'll be right back. So today on Art by Rick, I did 4 paintings, and I have them displayed in front of me. And this was done with the balloon smash technique. They're still a little bit wet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to step back and I'm going to zoom in on each of these and kind of do a pan so you can see them. As I was off camera and I was watching these kind of set up, I was following the guidelines of the colors and trying to come up with names. So I've named each one of these paintings. I'm going to turn them around and display the names, and then we'll go through what they are, and then we'll close out the show. One of the fun parts about doing any kind of a painting is what you're creating and what you're going to name it. So these are the 4 balloon smash style paintings that I did. And looking at them and the color schemes and whatever, I tried to come up with some creative names to call these particular paintings. So I turned them around so you can basically take a look at it. So if I basically turn the camera here a little bit and zoom in, just forgive me while I'm positioning the camera because I'm a one-man show here. This one here that's sitting on this particular side, I've decided to call this one Midnight Radiance. This is just going to be a flower stack. I will take a black pen and I will draw some flower petals on this so that those blobs are more well defined. I moved over to this particular painting here, this next one. This next one I've decided to name Warm Spring because it's bright colors. Again, I will put some stems on this and draw some floral designs so that that stands out as floral. The next one here is a cool blue. I may call it ocean blue. Kind of looks like water to me a little bit. And I may highlight it with a little bit of white. I don't know. I've got to think. Again, it's not quite dry, so I really don't know what to do with it at this particular point. And this last one here is basically greens. It's more like a forest green. This was the one that I said that I was inspired looking at a meadow. It came out with a little bit too much gray in it, but I probably will fix that by adding some lighter greens to it a little bit later on. Again, the challenge with any kinds of paintings when you're doing acrylics is you have to wait for the time for those to dry in order for you to really be able to finish the paintings. So there you go. 4 paintings done, very simple. These are 8x11 canvases, all done by adding some blobs of color onto the canvas and smashing it down with a balloon. And you can use any size balloon you want. The bigger your balloon, the bigger the spread you're going to get. My name is Rick, and this has been Art by Rick. Just remember, just go out there and paint and discover the artist in you. We'll see you next time.
Memories are priceless and made to share, not rot away in a box. Preserve them at Nutmeg TV in Farmington. Convert tapes, photos, slides, and film to DVD or digital files to save on a computer, portable hard drive, or even smartphone for as low as $9.99. Share memories easily with friends and family on email or social media sites like Facebook. Surprise them with a holiday or birthday gift that keeps on giving. Unlike competitors who ship orders out, our work is done at Nutmeg TV in Farmington, keeping your memories safe, easy to view, easy to share, easy to enjoy. Call Nutmeg TV 860-321-7405 or visit us online, nutmegtv.org.
Sometimes life just happens. Don't worry. Farmington Motorsports will get you back on the road and at a fair price. From towing to tires, emissions to transmissions.
Our ASC certified techs do it all.
Farmington Motorsports is a family-run business. We're a Napa Auto Center and AAA approved. We work on all makes and models from preventative maintenance to major repairs.
And every repair is backed by our 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty.
When life happens to you, don't worry. Farmington Motorsports.